You ever notice how the world keeps pulling at you from every direction? Everybody got an opinion. Everybody got something to say. Everybody wants your time like it's free. But let me tell you something, your time is the most expensive thing you'll ever own. And the moment you start giving it away to people who don't value it, you start losing pieces of yourself. That's why you got to lock in. You got to focus on you. Because the truth is, nobody's going to build your future for you. Nobody's going to grind for you, heal for you, or fight your battles. That's on you. And the moment you understand that, the moment you stop waiting for someone to save you or validate you, you become dangerous. You become someone who can't be distracted, can't be manipulated, can't be slowed down. See, the world loves noise, gossip, opinions, negativity. But greatness grows in silence. Power grows in silence. When you start choosing yourself, when you start putting your energy into your purpose instead of people, that's when you rise. That's when you start seeing who you really are beneath all the expectations and the fear. And maybe some people won't understand your journey. Maybe they'll say you changed, but you didn't change, you evolved. So don't waste your time worrying about who's watching you, who's doubting you, or who's not clapping for you. Your mission was never meant for their approval. Focus on yourself, protect your energy, build your mind, build your life. Because the moment you take yourself seriously, the world has no choice but to do the same. The world today is built on distraction. Everywhere you look, something is pulling at your attention. Your phone buzzing, people talking, drama unfolding, responsibilities stacking up, and opinions being thrown at you like stones. It becomes so easy to get caught in the noise that you forget the most important thing. Your focus is your power. When you give it away too freely, you weaken yourself without even realizing it. Discipline isn't just about controlling your actions. It's about controlling your attention, your reactions, and your inner world. When you don't guard your focus, the world will take it from you, and it won't feel sorry for doing so. Focusing on yourself isn't selfish, it's survival. Because you can't build a future when your mind is scattered across 1,000 meaningless things. You can't elevate your life when you let every distraction pull you away from your purpose. The truth is, people who achieve something great in life aren't always the smartest or the loudest. They're the most disciplined. They're the ones who knew how to shut the door, silence the noise, and commit to their own growth. They knew how to say no to distractions, even when those distractions came disguised as comfort, entertainment, or temporary fun. They understood that every moment wasted is a piece of their life they can never get back. When you train yourself to focus deeply on your goals, your healing, your progress, you become a different kind of human being. You become someone who moves with intention. Your mindset sharpens, your decisions become clearer, and your path starts forming in front of you like it was waiting all along. But that clarity can only come when you stop scattering your energy across things that don't matter. The world will always try to trick you into believing that you have time to waste. It will tell you to relax, settle, scroll, gossip, delay, wait until later. But later is a trap. Later becomes tomorrow, tomorrow becomes next week, and next week becomes a year of your life gone. Discipline means understanding that the clock is always ticking. It means waking up with the awareness that every second has value and every choice you make is shaping the person you're becoming. When you let discipline guide you, you start seeing that many of the things you used to give time to were never deserving of you in the first place. You realize that the people who drain your energy are not worth your attention. The habits that slow you down are not worth your time. And the distractions that steal your focus are not worth your life. To focus on yourself means to protect your mind like a treasure chest. You stop letting everyone and everything walk in and leave a mess behind. You start choosing peace over chaos, purpose over pleasure, and growth over comfort. You start saying no without guilt because you finally understand what your attention is worth. When you commit to discipline, you stop being reactive and start being intentional. Instead of being pushed around by life, you learn to direct your own path. You learn to stay committed even when you don't feel motivated. And that's where transformation happens. Anyone can work hard when they feel inspired, but discipline is what carries you when inspiration disappears. And the more disciplined you become, the more the world around you begins to shift. People treat you differently because they feel your energy changing. You carry yourself differently, you speak differently, you walk into a room with a presence that wasn't there before. It comes from knowing yourself, investing in yourself, and refusing to let distractions shape your destiny. When you focus on yourself with discipline, you grow into someone who no longer chases validation, attention, or approval. You become someone who moves with purpose, someone who respects their own time, and someone who refuses to let the world steal their focus again. Time is the one thing you can never bargain for, pause, rewind, or reclaim once it's gone. You can lose money and make it back, lose people and meet new ones, lose opportunities and create others. But time is the only currency that moves in one direction and never deposits anything back into your hands. When you truly understand this, everything about the way you live your life begins to shift. You start seeing how precious every hour is, how priceless every moment is, and how dangerous it is to waste your time on things that don't build you, heal you, or help you grow. Most people walk through life like they have an endless supply of days ahead of them. They spend their time on distractions, on drama, on people who don't value them, on habits that drain them, on excuses that limit them. They forget that every wasted moment is a piece of their destiny slipping through their fingers. But when you decide to take control of your time, you start taking control of your life. Time is powerful because it reveals what you truly value. Whatever you give your hours to, you are giving your life to. If you spend your days complaining, scrolling, gossiping, chasing temporary pleasure, or waiting for something magical to happen without putting in effort, you're choosing stagnation. You're choosing to stay in the same place while life moves forward without you. But when you choose to invest your time in self-improvement, in learning, in working on your craft, in healing your mind, in building something meaningful, you're choosing growth. You're choosing to use your time as fuel instead of letting it slip away. You're choosing to build a life that reflects discipline rather than regret. The difference between a wasted day and a powerful day is simply intention. When you wake up with purpose, your time becomes a tool. When you wake up without direction, your time becomes a thief. The truth is, people will always try to pull you into their world, their problems, their distractions, their chaos. They will invite you into conversations that don't matter, situations that drain you, cycles that go nowhere. And if you're not mindful, you'll spend your precious hours trying to fix things that aren't yours, arguing about things that don't matter, and entertaining people who don't respect your energy. Protecting your time means learning how to say no even when it feels uncomfortable. It means choosing long-term progress over short-term pleasure. It means recognizing that not everything deserves your attention and not everyone deserves your presence. When you guard your time, you guard your potential. You guard the version of yourself you're working to become. Your life changes when you start treating time like the gift that it is. You stop settling for average effort. You stop tolerating unnecessary distractions. You stop letting procrastination steal your opportunities. You stop waiting for the right moment because you understand that the right moment is the one you're living in right now. You begin to move differently because you realize that every minute is shaping your future self, and little by little, your habits start to change. You read more, think more, create more, practice more, improve more. You start becoming someone who uses time wisely instead of letting time use you. That's how people transform their lives, not through giant leaps, but through consistent, intentional use of their time. When you commit to honoring your time, you begin to separate yourself from the average mindset. You stop comparing your journey to others because you're too focused on building your own. You stop looking backward because you're too busy moving forward. You stop doubting your path because every day you're investing in it, and the world starts to respond to your discipline. Opportunities appear, confidence grows, your mindset sharpens, you feel stronger, clearer, more aligned, all because you decided to stop wasting time and start building something real. Time is the foundation of your future, and The way you use it determines the life you end up living. People will always have their own perceptions, assumptions, and judgments about your life. And no matter how much you explain yourself, most of them will never truly understand your mission. They don't see the battles you fight in silence, the dreams you carry inside you, or the vision that pulls you forward. They only see what's on the surface, and they respond based on their own fears, insecurities, and limitations. When people doubt you, it's rarely about you. It's about what they can't imagine for themselves. When people leave you, it's often because they were never meant to stay on the path you're walking. When people misunderstand you, it's because they can't hear the calling you hear, the one that keeps pushing you to grow, evolve, and rise. And the most powerful thing you can do is continue anyway. Continue without waiting for approval. Continue without needing validation. Continue without asking for permission. Your mission is yours and nobody else was assigned to it. There will be moments when you feel alone, not because you don't have people around you, but because your path requires a level of focus others don't understand. Growth can be isolating, success can be misunderstood, healing can make you step away from familiar faces, and transformation can create distance between you and those who remain the same. Some people will label your silence as arrogance when in reality it's discipline. Some will call your boundaries selfish when in reality they're protection. Some will think you've changed in a negative way when in truth you've simply outgrown old patterns and old versions of yourself. Not everyone will clap for you, support you, or believe in you, and that's okay. You're not here to convince anyone. You're here to build. You're here to rise. You're here to become the person you were meant to be. When people doubt you, it can hurt, but it can also fuel you. It forces you to rely on yourself and to trust your own voice and to find strength you didn't know you had. When people walk away, it teaches you the value of your own company and the power of independence. It shows you that losing people is not the end. Sometimes it's the beginning of clarity. When people misunderstand you, it teaches you that your purpose doesn't need to be explained to anyone who isn't ready to understand it. Your direction doesn't have to make sense to those who aren't walking in your shoes. You owe no one an explanation for the choices you make to protect your peace and elevate your life. The mission you carry inside you is given to you for a reason. Maybe it was shaped through pain, maybe through struggle, maybe through dreams you can't forget, or through moments that changed everything for you. Whatever built your mission made it personal. And because it is personal, not everyone can follow you. Not everyone can walk at your pace. Not everyone can breathe at your altitude. When people fall off, let them. When people question you, ignore them. When people try to pull you back into who you used to be, rise above them. You don't need a crowd to validate your direction. You need courage to take the next step. Life becomes powerful when you stop depending on external approval and start believing in your own inner compass. The world might not recognize your potential yet, but they don't have to. The world might not understand your silence, but silence is where your strength is forming. The world might not see the seeds you're planting, but the harvest will speak louder than anything you could ever explain. People may doubt you now, but that doubt has nothing to do with your destiny. People may leave, but their absence makes space for something greater. People may misunderstand you, but understanding was never a requirement for you to succeed. Your mission stays yours, and your path remains yours no matter who chooses to walk beside you or not. Growth doesn't happen in comfort. It doesn't happen when you're surrounded by people who agree with everything you say, or when you're living in an environment that shields you from challenge. Growth happens when you make the conscious choice to put yourself first, to prioritize your evolution over the noise, drama, and temporary pleasures that constantly try to pull you away from your purpose. Every day, life offers distractions dressed as entertainment, comfort, or obligation, and it becomes easy to spend your energy on things that feel urgent but are not important. When you start putting yourself first, it's not about arrogance or selfishness. It's about survival, self-respect, and the understanding that your energy is sacred. Every decision you make, every habit you adopt, every relationship you invest in must be measured against the question, Does this serve my growth? If it doesn't, it has no place in your life. Choosing yourself over noise means learning to identify what truly matters and what doesn't. People, conversations, and situations that drain your energy are not worth your focus, no matter how familiar or tempting they are. Life will always present opportunities to engage in gossip, drama, or temporary pleasure, but these are traps disguised as normalcy. Growth requires a different kind of attention. It requires awareness, discipline, and courage. You have to say no to the things that distract you from your mission. Even if they come with emotional attachments, you have to step away from relationships that no longer serve your vision. You have to resist the pull of comfort when it conflicts with progress. This is not an easy path. It's lonely at times, and it demands a level of self-responsibility that many are not willing to take on. But the reward of this intentional focus is immeasurable. When you put yourself first, you begin to understand the value of your own energy. You start to see that the people, habits, and distractions that drain you are costing you more than you realize. They are taking minutes, hours, and days from the person you are trying to become. And when you stop giving them your time, your mind clears. Your goals become sharper. Your motivation grows stronger because you are no longer splitting your energy with things that do not contribute to your growth. Solitude becomes a tool, not a punishment, and silence becomes a source of power. The world may see your withdrawal as isolation or distance, but in truth, it is where you are building on yourself, laying down the foundation for the life you are destined to live. Putting yourself first also means taking responsibility for your own progress. Nobody can do the work for you. Nobody can fight your battles, heal your wounds, or build your dreams. That responsibility belongs solely to you. And once you accept that, the fear of judgment or misunderstanding fades because you realize your life is not about meeting other people's expectations. It's about honoring your own potential. You begin to cultivate habits, mindsets, and routines that serve your growth, not the approval of others. You surround yourself with experiences and people that elevate your energy, expand your perspective, and push you toward your highest version. This commitment to yourself creates a magnetic shift. The more you invest in your growth, the less susceptible you are to distractions, negativity, or influence from those who do not align with your purpose. The more you prioritize your evolution, the clearer your path becomes. You start to see opportunities where before you only saw obstacles. You begin to trust your instincts and decisions because they are rooted in your understanding of what serves you. And even though some may criticize, misunderstand, or resist the changes in you, the truth is that their resistance does not define your value or limit your potential. Growth comes from choosing yourself consistently, intentionally, and unapologetically over everything that tries to pull you off course. When you focus on yourself, something shifts inside you that no one else can manufacture. It's not about arrogance or selfishness. It's about recognizing the power that comes from being intentional with your life. Most people live scattered, reacting to the world instead of creating their own reality. They let opinions, distractions, and the expectations of others dictate how they spend their energy. And as a result, their lives feel chaotic, unfulfilled, and shallow. But the moment you decide to turn your attention inward, to invest in your own growth, to prioritize your mental, emotional, and physical well-being, you start to operate on a completely different level. You become someone who moves with purpose, who carries a presence that others can feel even if they don't understand it. That power is quiet but undeniable, and it changes everything around you. Focusing on yourself means mastering your mind, your habits, and your emotions. It's about creating a space where your energy is not scattered by unnecessary drama, meaningless interactions, or fleeting pleasures. When your attention is fully yours, you start to see things clearly. You notice the patterns in your life, the people who uplift you versus those who drain you, and the choices that move you toward your goals versus those that hold you back. That clarity is a type of power because it allows you to make decisions that align with your highest self. You no longer react blindly or live according to external pressures. Instead, you navigate life intentionally, and the confidence that comes from that control cannot be shaken by outside noise. The beauty of focusing on yourself is that it creates momentum. Every action you take for your growth compounds over time. Reading, learning, creating, exercising, meditating, setting boundaries, and pursuing your dreams are all deposits into a bank that pays dividends in resilience, wisdom, and strength. The more you commit to yourself, the less the distractions of the world matter. You stop needing constant validation, approval, or recognition because you are building a foundation so solid that external opinions can no longer destabilize you. People may try to pull you into conflict, gossip, or chaos, but you remain unshaken because your focus is on building a life that cannot be moved by temporary noise. Focusing on yourself also teaches you the art of patience and discipline. Growth is not immediate. It is a slow, deliberate process that requires dedication and consistency. It's easy to get discouraged when progress isn't visible, but when you trust in yourself and commit to your journey, every small step counts. The work you do in silence today prepares you for the victories of tomorrow. And those victories are not just material, they are internal. They are the quiet confidence, the emotional resilience, the clarity of purpose that comes when you refuse to let distractions dictate your path. People may not see the effort and they may not understand your process, but that doesn't matter. The results speak for themselves, not in noise or recognition, but in the power you carry as a person who knows their worth and stays true to themselves. When you focus on yourself, you also become a force that attracts the right people and repels the wrong ones. You begin to set standards naturally without needing to explain or justify them. People who align with your energy will be drawn to you, and those who do not will drift away. This process is not about isolation. It's about creating space for growth and protecting your energy from being diluted by negativity or distraction. Your presence becomes magnetic because it's rooted in authenticity and purpose. You start to realize that the quieter you become in seeking approval and the more deliberate you are in pursuing your own path, the louder your success and influence speak. Ultimately, focusing on yourself turns your life into a reflection of intentionality and power. It allows you to step away from the chaos, to rise above the opinions of others, and to cultivate a version of yourself that is unstoppable. When your energy is protected, your mind is sharp, and your purpose is clear, nothing in the world can derail you. The silence, the discipline, and the dedication you pour into yourself create a force that is not easily shaken, and it's in this state that you realize true freedom, strength, and influence are born from focusing relentlessly on yourself